most common form of wire fraud is where some outside person is spoofing an email to look like it's coming from your realtor, your lender, the title company.
Welcome back to Hash It Out, where we have the tough conversations about real estate. Today's video is all about title fraud, title insurance, how to stay safe when you're purchasing a house. Marvin, please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name's Marvin Reese, CLA Title and Escrow, Business Development Manager for CLA Title. Been around the industry for quite a while, coming up on 21 years in July. Hopefully I can answer all of your questions today and help keep you safe as you go through your real estate transaction.
So Marvin, what is wire fraud, man?
Quite frankly, it's just the fact that, we're in a world where people always want things the easy way, man. So knowing the mortgage industry, the title industry, the real estate industry, there's a lot of money transacted and going back and forth, from the title company dispersing out proceeds, payoffs, etc. It's simply where somebody not tied to the transaction is posing as somebody else, trying to divert the funds or proceeds or money that's getting dispersed through the transaction. Most commonly, it's going to be targeted towards buyers and the title company. That's your typical type of wire fraud you're going to see in this industry and in most situations. Of course, that's not every situation, but that's your common cases.
So Marvin, what are some ways you keep your clients protected from wire fraud?
Yeah, so for one, with CLA, almost everything we do is through our Qualia system. So it's a secure portal platform. For instance, wiring instructions, we're not emailing those, we're sending them through the Qualia portal. So nobody outside is able to intercept those wiring instructions and redirect them. So things like using secure platforms, in our signature lines, alerting people to things about, the just awareness of wire fraud and it being in our industry are some of the ways that CLA are helping to protect its consumers from any kind of fraudulent activity. Title insurance is in two forms. You have an owner's policy and a lender's policy. A lender's policy, it's no way around it. You as the consumer have to pay for that on behalf of the lender for them to loan you the money to buy the house. I call it the cost of doing business. The owner's policy is optional, but after we talk about some of the scenarios today, you're going to see why, in my opinion, it's not truly optional. You do not want to make the biggest purchase you're going to make in your life and not have yourself protected, but you're protecting everybody else. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Exactly.
But the key and fundamental difference in title and title insurance than any other insurance out there, let's say health insurance in case you get sick, got to have a hospital stay. Auto insurance in case you have an accident. Heck, even travel insurance in case you got to cancel that flight to Aruba because something happened, you know. But that's protecting you against what's going to happen in the future. Title insurance only protects you from everything that's happened in the past. The title insurance is in place. That's your best form of protection outside of everything that the title insurance company's doing to keep you safe as a consumer and a home buyer.
What can a home buyer or homeowner do to protect themselves as far as when they're doing anything with title and wiring money or any of this stuff?
It's one simple step, very simple step that every homeowner should do anytime you're about to wire money. And most of your partners in the transaction, your agent, your lender, everybody's going to tell you the same thing. Before you hit the send button, contact the title company on a nationally public number. And have them validate those instructions. Now let's talk about why, okay? The most common form of wire fraud is where some outside person is spoofing an email to look like it's coming from your realtor, your lender, the title company, and it's usually last minute when you're in a rush to wire the money, saying, hey, there's been a change. Instead of sending your wire here, send it there. Automatically, that's a red flag because it shouldn't be changing up last minute. But if you don't call your title company to validate, you send that money, it's gone. Once you hit the button, we can't get it back.
All right, y'all, it's the true or false round.
I feel like this is a setup because in title it's not such a thing. It's just true and false. Let's see how this goes.
We're going to play in the gray area a little bit. So true or false, someone can intercept or spoof your emails and, give you new wiring instructions.
Absolutely true. And that's the common one that we see. Typically it's not your email getting spoofed. It's your agent, your title company, your lender getting spoofed. But that's the most common thing we see in wire fraud. The fraudsters trying to get you to redirect your wire somewhere differently, and they're posing as somebody that you trust in the transaction.
True or false? Title companies have to protect your private information.
That is true. Well, let's say this: they should want to protect your private information
absolutely.
anyway. But yeah, yes, we do. So our industry is very heavily regulated. There's a couple of acts and stuff out there around protecting sensitive information. That's why CLA always does everything where sensitive information is being passed through qualia, just in regards to protecting the consumer's personal information or private information. We even have a form we give out at Southern telling people what we do with the information that we do have. So yes, that is true. We absolutely should be protecting the customer's private information.
So true or false? If I go and pay for this enhanced title insurance, nothing bad is ever going to happen, right?
So let's see, that's a great one. That's another one I can't just say true or false. So let's remember now, what did we talk about earlier in this show, right? Title insurance protects you against what? Things that happened in the past.
Correct.
So if something happens in the future, title insurance, depending on what it is, isn't necessarily going to protect you.
Okay.
Theory is, you now own this property, you know everything that's happening with it.
Exactly.
So you do something, that you shouldn't be doing, and it causes you to lose the property, that's kind of on you. So our job is to make sure you take free and clear ownership and you're protected from anything you couldn't control prior to you owning it.
Okay.
That's right. You're
that's
responsible
understandable
for the future. Yeah,
all right.
You're understandable cool. You're responsible, not understandable, you're responsible for what's happening in the future.
True or false? A homeowner can commit real estate fraud as well.
Absolutely. So let's say we have a case whereas I'm a homeowner and I'm saying that I'm going to live in the property and I'm not. Well, that itself is considered fraud because the fact is the lender is basing your loan type and all of that on the fact that you're going to be occupying the property and Correct. You're not. So that's fraud. And then, it's cases whereas, suppose you try to open another mortgage right before the day of closing that morning and you go to settle that evening and it's not showing a record so we can't catch it. Yeah. Absolutely, it could be done.
All right, Marvin, we're going to get out of here. Where can the people find you if they want to link up with you?
So you can reach me at 443-805-4776 or by email mreese@clatitle.com.
We'll make sure to include that in the description below. Check out Marvin. He always does really, really good work for me. Him and his processors, they're amazing. They always make sure that we close on time. I have never had an issue where it was their fault.
Don't jinx me now.
I'm not. But this is my guy.